Diddy couldn't take a minute to stop trying to sue people for all of his life's mistakes. Enjoy Valentine's Day in prison, Sean Diddy Combs. He would like to do it $100 million richer, though. He has officially sued NBC over the severe reputational and economic harm caused by making a Bad Boy documentary. His team is alleging, and there's a lot happening in this lawsuit, but the big thing that they are saying is that what he's very upset about is the heinous crimes, including serial murder, rape of minors, sex trafficking of minors, and attempts to crudely psychologize him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, was that the wrong word?
No, I don't think that was right, but we can pretend that was English.
It's fine. The big thing he's talking about too specifically is he's saying, and when I say him, just keep in mind we're talking about Sean Diddy Combs' legal team because he is in prison right now in New York City. So he can't actually make any of these statements himself. But they are suing for this $300 million. A big part of that is the death of his ex, Kim Porter. If you remember, she died in 2018. They had 3 children together. I think it was pneumonia. It was something that you go, wow, a very healthy person in 2018. That's odd. People that know the both of them and know Diddy really well, knew Kim really well, including who she was with at the time of her death, have all made allegations that Diddy had something to do with it because, quote unquote, she was going to be the next Cassie Ventura. And if you rewind all the way back with me, Cassie, the singer, was the reason that the Diddy empire fell down in the first place. She was the one who sued him. Was it 2023?
Sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Around then, she sued him. Sorry, there's a thing flicking in my face if you're watching on YouTube. She sued him for sexual assault, harassment, several things because of the abuse that she went through. They settled out of court, but he denied everything until a video came out.
Yep.
Showing him dragging her on the floor through a hotel with a towel around his waist.
Mm-hmm. And her trying to
this.
run from it. Yeah, it was a big stinking deal.
It was a huge deal. And so many people came forward after that, other women. And then the Diddy spiral continued on from there. So they were saying these friends of Kim Porter have alleged, and they did so in this documentary, that Diddy had something to do with it. They say, we still believe that she was going to come forward with things, and then she died from pneumonia, which was just so odd. They also the complaint from Sean Diddy Combs' team against NBC Universal is the, quote, unhinged conspiracy theory that he played with the deaths of the Notorious B.I.G. record executive Andre Harrell, who died of heart failure, and the rapper Heavy D, who died of a pulmonary embolism in 2011. So they're saying it makes it sound like he's an unhinged serial killer, that he's not. He had nothing to do with that. Now, what's funny is that they're claiming NBC is putting out these allegations. NBC, being the broadcasting news organization that it is, put these interviews out if you watched this, but they also put out, here was the coroner's report. Here's what the official report had to say with it. Like, they didn't really take a side. So I'm not sure how he's going to win anything, especially since, I don't know, he's locked up, facing a minimum of 15 years of prison to a maximum sentence in life after being charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. So I don't know how much he can be like, I'm an innocent man! You've ruined my reputation!
I'm pretty sure he ruined it for himself. Yeah, to blame someone else for that is kind of ridiculous. And then we're throwing this in there, and it might, for some people, at least for me at first, felt a little bit of out of left field. But then the more I'm looking into it, I'm like, yeah, now is the time to capitalize on all of this, publicity. Let's talk about this. Let's bring it to the surface. But for him to come back and be like, no, I was not that bad. I was bad. I'm bad enough to be in prison right now. But, I'm going to deny anything from there. And it's ridiculous. Like, just give up the ghost,
Mm-hmm. So true.
Yeah, I completely agree. The only thing, and this is not in any way trying to defend Diddy, but I am fascinated that we haven't seen more stories like these, because right now we are in such a weird time where every time one of these stories happens, whether it's the Diddy situation, the Rush shooting, ends with whatever it is, you've got TMZ, you've got these, in this case, NBC Universal, you got these people just lining up to turn them into like 7 different documentaries. Mm-hmm. And the idea of, okay, are you bringing something new to the table? Most of the time not. Or are you going to sensationalize things too much? Now, it sounds like NBC Universal did a very good job of saying, here's what these interviewees are saying. This is their words, not ours. And here's what the coroner said. That's the right way to do it. But when you've got some, tabloids and whatnot trying to capitalize on these stories by turning them into these TV specials, I can't believe we're not going to be seeing a lot more of this going forward.
Oh, it's so true. And part of this allegation, as Mike just said, is that they're saying, listen, you guys wanted to jump on this so quickly to beat all of your competitors that you sensationalized this story. Remember, NBC Universal does Dateline.
Yeah.
Right.
All I know is they do a lot of meth. They don't do meth.
Wait, what?
Murder and death, not meth,
Not
which
meth.
can lead to murder, death.
That's true. You're not wrong.
We all watched, what's it called? Breaking Bad. So, anywho,
NBC.
Kids,
NBC.
don't do
Do a
math.
lot of meth.
The
Your
more
slogan.
you know.
The more you know.
I earned that. Thank
Yeah,
you,
that
Mike.
was so good.
I
That was
deserve
great.
that. But they do Dateline, so they know how to take a report and then put it next to a family member who's grieving or somebody who feels like they've been wrong,
Right.
and make sure that their opinion is not a part of it.
Yeah, of all different companies to go after, this is not the one, dude. Like, you're going to lose this one so fast, faster than you can even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
No
I can't. Like, Mike, do you remember the amount of conspiracy theories around Kim Porter?
Oh, man. There's so many.
See, I didn't know about them until more recently. I
Mike
always
knows
just was like,
everything.
oh, yeah, no, I want to pick Mike's brain about all these conspiracy theories. Let's hear it.
No, there are certain things I'll talk about on the air, and there are certain things I will not talk about on the
Nope.
air. And a lot around this, I'm not willing to talk about around the air. So,
Touche.
do your own research. You can see plenty of the reasons why in this documentary they maybe make a reference to it and why certain members of this story may believe one thing or another. But I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. And you will also, when you do your own research, realize why Mike doesn't want to say too much.
Yep.
It's
That's fair.
creepy. So,
It's fair.
Diddy, enjoy your chicken nuggies and mashed potatoes for Valentine's Day.
Sounds
Good luck.
awesome for Valentine's Day,
Honestly, it
honestly. Yeah.
I got Kai, my kiddo, those like dinosaur shaped chicken nuggets.
Dude,
Yeah.
He didn't
don't
care.
start. Don't start because you won't be able to continue on without eating.
I'm not going to be able to continue on without them. They're delicious.
It's
so good.
It's the only chicken nuggets we get at our house, and we don't have children in our house.
Well,
Sarah loves the dino nuggies.
they're so good. And Punk arguably is a child.
Well, she is a child, and she usually has a little piece.
Yeah, she's a cat, Ellie.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I don't know who that is, but I have heard stories about said cat, and I do agree that this cat is partially human, at least in mind and spirit.
It's true. By the way, in case you are just joining us and wondering who this other voice is, Brittany will be back tomorrow. Ellie Mark, my sister,
Hello.
former podcast host, is here with us filling in today and is excited to talk about Taylor Swift, because aren't we all? Because for whatever reason, if Brittany's gone or Mike's gone, it doesn't matter. The Taylor Swift of it all is still going to be
Always.
in this sacred space.
Always.
Kylie Kelsey was just on Call Her Daddy. As you know, Call Her Daddy, massive podcast. Kylie Kelsey is married to Jason Kelsey, Travis Kelsey's brother. So she's basically related to Taylor Swift. That, of course, comes up in the conversation. And it's funny, Mike and I were just talking about, and we'll get to that in half a second, but the headlines around this interview have been highly misleading. It is a quiet day in the gossip community because we are making like lemonade seltzers out of limes. I swear to all things holy. Like, I don't even know
Not
where
even a
this is going.
fruit, honestly. We're just trying to make it out of like leaves at this
It's
point.
true. So the interview goes on. Alex Cooper asks, like, how did you find out? Like, how did you guys find out that Travis was dating Taylor Swift? And Kylie's like, it wasn't something that was like in the family group chat. We knew he'd broken up with his ex. He was dating someone new. But she said Jason and I, her husband and her, found out at the same time, and then they met Taylor at a football game. She goes, it was kind of wild to me that people were so weirded out by the fact that I'd met my brother-in-law's girlfriend at a football game. Like, why is that weird?
That's such a good point. I hadn't even like when you put it in that perspective, it's like, yeah, that's totally normal. That's what, I'm trying to think of how any significant others of mine have met anyone. And it's, usually on like a holiday. I feel like it's way more casual to meet like at a football game, basically at their jobs, right? But yeah, when anything that's Taylor Swift is taken and amplified to a whole new level, as we have seen, especially in the past couple of years with her tour and everything. And this is just no exception. Of course, people are going to make a bigger deal out of this than it actually is. But
And you mentioned the tour. She was in the middle of the tour when this happened. So it's not like she wasn't a little busy. So when else are they going to get together? Except this is the only place they happen to both be in the same place at the same time. But some of those sensationalized stories, I just pulled up page 6 because one of the top articles right now is Don't Blame Her. Why Kylie Kelsey didn't eat Taylor Swift's home-cooked meal during double date with Travis Jason Kelsey.
Wait, why wouldn't she eat Taylor Swift's home-cooked meal?
Because she worried she was going to poison her. No, that's not that actually.
But that's what it looks like.
That would be way more fascinating.
That's the way they want to make it look. I did watch a huge chunk of this interview. It's because Kylie was pregnant and she's just like, nothing that day felt like was appetizing to me. I just didn't want to eat. That was it.
But we made it on every headline of every gossip rag.
Yeah.
That Kylie Kelsey would not eat Taylor Swift's home-cooked meal.
Again, making lemonade seltzers out of leaves.
Yep. It's just insanity. And what's so ironic about all this is you watch, you reading the stories, and I know, Mike, you listened to the full interview, but she makes it such a case for everything's been so sensationalized. Like the family knew before the hard launch. We met at a football game. I didn't eat her food because I was pregnant. And everything that she even said in this interview about how, hey, it's weird how much it's sensationalized, got sensationalized.
Correct.
Right? Like beyond repair. Poor Kylie. I feel for her. I mean, she's just trying to do her thing and everything she does now is just overshadowed. And I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. Wish we could do you better.
Mm-hmm. But I'm curious if anything else that was at all interesting came out of it, Mike.
No, it was very much just kind of on the surface stuff. There's a reason why we're getting these headlines is they were just talking it all out. She did mention that it took about a year into her dating Jason before she even met Travis. So, because she just like, it's ironic. But they did talk about the fact that they actually know a lot of the same areas because they're both East Coast. Both Kylie Kelsey and Taylor Swift were both grew up on the East Coast. So when they, we go up north or we go whatever, they go out to these points and out to the shore and like travel in these same areas up in New England. And they had vacation in a lot of the same places. So they had that as kind of a little interesting connection.
Next headline. Were they childhood best friends? Was Kylie and Taylor
up all along? Years in the making.
They were on the same beach on the same month in the same year. God, just ridiculous. But hey, I clicked on every single one of those articles.
So did it work?
I failed. By the way, speaking of Taylor Swift, there's another story going on around, and we knew this. Taylor Swift she's very generous with people behind the scenes. There's a picture of her that went around during the Super Bowl most recently, and then of course also during the Grammys where she's tipping folks. And then the conversation continues about how these other people are like, oh yeah, she tipped me when she was at this game or this game. She goes down into like the belly of a stadium to find the craft services people. She always hands out $100 bills and then asks, do you want to take a picture? Which everybody says yes.
Right, yeah.
Like someone was like, oh yeah, she even FaceTimed my wife with me because my wife was going to freak out. I mean, just the kind of thing that you go, this is why people love her, even though it'd be so easy to hate her.
Right.
Because you don't really, and it's not her PR people, it's pictures we see on the internet because the people getting tipped are going, oh my God, this is me and Taylor Swift. She gave me $100. Like someone else said like that they were working at the check-in at like Gillette Stadium, like somewhere that you would not need a tip for. And she gave them $100 bill and was like, thank you.
I love that so much.
She rich as hell, so she's handing out her money.
Yeah, why not? And she did this during her tour. I think it was one of the holiday. It might have been Christmas a couple of years ago, where she gave everyone this huge bonus, and everyone was like, she's not just doing it just to make herself look better. She's doing it because she's genuinely grateful. And she is someone, when we think about it, didn't she get her start on MySpace? Like, she comes from humbler beginnings. And so, yes, she's this huge star, but she also appreciates hard work and appreciates those people around her. And yeah, the people who are like Taylor Swift haters, I feel like they just do it because it's kind of like, I don't know, hating Nickelback for a long time. Like you jump on this bandwagon against them. And at the end of the day, though, it's like they're good people. I mean, not everyone has, this sparkling reputation, but hers is great. And I think it's for good reason. And so when people choose to hate on that, I'm like, no, I just think she's genuinely a good person. And I applaud her for that. And I hope that she continues on this way, which I'm sure she will.
Mm-hmm. And from a songwriting standpoint, Nickelback and Taylor Swift should always be in the same sentence.
Well, that's a little bit more debatable, but
yeah, $200 million, by the way, $197 million in bonuses to the cast and crew of the Eras Tour from the beginning to the end of it. It's insane.
Yeah.
You don't really hear that about anybody else.
No, you never hear about other celebrities tipping people, and like especially individuals that aren't serving them, like the example that you just brought up, Kendall, where it's, a security person or like, I just love that. And I mean, she knows that a picture with her is worth 1,000 words, and she's not like abusing that by any means. She's doing it because she's like, oh yeah, I'm really grateful for the people who help support me and support my life, and maybe didn't get quite as lucky as I did. And I mean, not saying that she was only lucky. She's also incredibly talented and a hard worker, but I just think that it's really admirable, and I applaud her, and I love her even more.
We love. Oh, Mike loves this story.
I do. It continues. Apparently, today was the day where we finally got the hard launch of former Bachelorette star Jen Tran and Sasha Farber, dancer from Dancing with the Stars. Now,
I thought you were going to go with Dances with Wolves.
I was too there for a second.
Just a half a second.
But you may say, what do you mean hard launch? We've been talking about this relationship for 2 months. Yeah. All of that's correct. We have been talking about this relationship for 2 months. They've been together, cooking on Instagram together and social media on TikTok for months and months. But apparently today's the day they've officially launched.
Oh, thank God. I've been waiting for the hard launch
Didn't
date.
see this coming at all.
It's like NASA. We need to know the actual date. What in the world?
Yeah,
Oh,
TMZ's
my
running
goodness.
with it that Jen Tran is officially off the market. She made her relationship with Sasha Farber Instagram official in the biggest way possible, a.k.a. she was wearing a revealing top as she was eating chocolate-covered strawberries on a couch.
That's how I hard launch everything.
I dress as slimply as I can, and then I eat chocolate-covered strawberries. I mean, what else?
So these two, it's fun. We've beat this kind of relationship up a little bit for a while, and hopefully it's real, and hopefully they found love, and it's wonderful. But Sasha Farber had his own controversy around his ex, who was also on Dancing with the Stars. So there was a lot of reasons to believe that following the situation we talked about a couple of days ago with Devil, as you refer to him, Devin, the former fiance of Jen Tran, that it made a lot of sense to put these two together in a storyline for the show. And but sometimes storylines evolve.
Are you telling me Brooks and Gleb will never be back together?
See, that's why I thought this one, and we've talked about this too. I think this one actually was real. I think this one was organic because she was not supposed to be on the show. She was never going to be on the show until what happened the night before, a couple of weeks or week before, whatever, on The Bachelorette. She got added to the show because she wasn't doing that normal post-Bachelor, Bachelorette year-long press tour talking about the show and doing the whole thing because her marriage never happened or the engagement it never happened. So then she was added quickly to Dancing with the Stars. We already had the Gleb and Brooks built-in relationship. That we knew was fake from the get-go. I think this one was real.
Honestly, though,
official.
Brooks and Gleb, what a band.
Mama Ria.
we would have no idea. We'd be like, yeah, I've heard of them.
Honestly, it does.
They sound good.
Yeah.
They did get matching tattoos too. Wink,
But we never
wink.
sath them.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
We
They
saw
were
them
like,
in a tattoo parlor,
yeah.
but we never saw their tattoos.
No.
Thus.
And we saw some band-aids, like strategically placed bandages. But
Yeah, I
then
don't
she
know
got
about
it removed. Remember that story? God, that just fed the beast, which is us.
Correct.
We are the beast, enjoying all the spinoffs of all the stories.
We are the beast. The beast is us. If you are a Bachelor fan, like I am, are either of you watching this season?
No, I haven't. I've been meaning to, but life's been a little crazy lately.
It's fine. I know Mike's not.
I'm
It's
not.
not the golden.
I don't do that.
I know. Okay. So there was a woman last week. This is early in the season. And if you get a one-on-one date, it's pretty huge. So this was going to be only the third one-on-one date for Grant. It was with this woman, Beverly. The morning of the date, all we hear is one of the other girl goes, well, Beverly's no longer with us, so 3 other girls are going to go. And I'm like, did she die?
It literally sounds like she died in the way you just said that. I was like,
they glossed over this. Like, they had one of the most unhinged girls in the house, I might add, be like, so Beverly's no longer with us, so we're just going to have someone else go on the date. And I'm like,
that literally sounds like she killed her in her sleep.
Right?
It turned into Hunger Games real fast. It's fine.
She just fell over the ledge of the balcony.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
She fell. So Beverly, in case you're like me and have wondered, you're welcome. I did the research. She had a health emergency. She had to leave. She said the girls went on the group date and she was like, God, I just don't feel well. She got really violently ill. She said it lasted about 12 hours. So they took her to the ER. Well, this would make sense. Well, if you're just kind of sick, like you're not going to leave for the whole experience. She had to get her appendix removed.
Oh no.
Yeah. So she's like, that was the most horrible way to leave the show.
Oh my gosh.
I never went on a date with him. I get violently ill.
Yeah.
And then have to get my appendix removed. I'm nowhere near home. All I'm thinking, of course, because hello, I have a child now and I think about these things. Health insurance. How much of that was covered in California?
Oh my goodness.
I just was like, that would be such a bummer. I hope that she gets on Bachelor in Paradise. She won't last long because she isn't last long in the season. But poor thing.
For her sake. No, as someone who, and you're, if you read the article, she talks about feeling like, oh, maybe it's anxiety that's giving me this stomach ache. And I had my appendix removed. Kendall, it was like, wasn't it your wedding year? Something like that. Mm-hmm. It was a while ago. Mm-hmm. And I remember what happened to me. I just thought that I had eaten bad food.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said, I thought I had food poisoning because it was coming out of both ends.
Yeah, because all of a sudden you're super dizzy and then you go in and they're like, oh, you're going to go in the ER. And you're like, uh-oh. And then they start touching your stomach and you're like, it's my appendix, isn't it? And when you have that, I mean, you are out for the count for a little while. And I mean, it takes a long time to recover from that because they tear apart your ab muscles too. You know, poor thing. She's thinking, I'm going to be on The Bachelor. I've got this one. Talk about from going to 100 to 0, like so fast.
So fast.
Oh, I hope she gets on Bachelor in Paradise as well, just for, mentally get a chance to recover from that.
She's like, I'm 30 years old. I just want kids and a family.
Yeah. And I don't think Bachelor in Paradise is necessarily the place to look for that.
Never know.
Who knows? Who knows? There's some success stories there.
Some. Fleeting.
Some.
Jason oh my God, I can't talk today. Jason Matheson called it STD Island.
Oh.
I was like, it's just Bachelor in Paradise.
I love the drama.
It's not on an island. It's in Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike.
Yeah.
This story's for all you millennial mamas out there.
That is right. Into the millennium. It is the Backstreet Boys live from the Las Vegas Sphere.
Woo!
I'm here for it.
That is right. It's only 9 dates so far. I'm really hoping once these go as fast as they're going to go, because I think it's going to sell out immediately, they add additional shows. But we've discussed in detail the Sphere. Of course, they opened up with U2. And then the next couple of groups were Fish, Dead & Company, Eagles. Dead & Company came back. Then we did find out not too long ago that Kenny Chesney is going to be taking the Sphere. It's the first country approach. And now I think they're serving a brand new audience that they have yet to be able to serve yet. And that is our audience.
Yeah.
So Backstreet Boys will be heading to the Sphere for 9 shows. They start July 11th. It's big news.
I think that this stretches the demographic from about 55 to like 30. Ellie, you're on the cusp because you have older siblings.
Yes.
But most people your age ain't going to care about Backstreet Boys.
No.
My people to about 55, we are like lined up and they're all going to be there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all going to be a part of it. They're all going to be there. So it is going to be a fantastic show. I'm excited. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be like $1,000 a ticket. So we'll see.
Listen, Mike, if we be believing nothing, we ain't be believing nothing.
There you go.
We ain't going to have any tickets.
Well said.
That was beautifully put.
Yeah.
Poetry is my strong suit. Hey, if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. And if you are not, you can watch this on YouTube. Hot to Go. We upload it every single day.